In the heart of southern Africa, where the endless sands of the Kalahari Desert stretch to the horizon, a remarkable transformation takes place. Here, the Okavango Delta emerges as a living oasis, a vibrant tapestry of water and life woven into the arid landscape. From above, the delta appears as a sprawling labyrinth of emerald islands and glistening channels, a natural wonder shaped by the delicate interplay of seasonal floods and ancient geology. Each year, distant rains from the Angolan highlands begin a journey of hundreds of kilometres, their waters threading southward through parched terrain. As these floodwaters reach the Okavango, they spill into a vast inland basin, transforming dry earth into a thriving wetland. The delta's arteries wind through a patchwork of islands, nourishing a complex ecosystem where aquatic plants sway in crystal-clear currents and tiny fish dart between submerged roots. As the waters rise, the Okavango Delta becomes a sanctuary for an astonishing diversity of wildlife. Herds of red lechwe antelope, perfectly adapted to this watery world, bound effortlessly through the shallows, their hooves sending up sparkling sprays. Crocodiles, masters of stealth, glide beneath floating lily pads, their eyes barely breaking the surface as they patrol the intricate channels. Along the water's edge, a multitude of species gather, drawn by the promise of sustenance and safety. Towering elephants, the architects of the delta, forge new paths through dense stands of papyrus and reeds, their trunks probing for tender shoots hidden beneath the water's surface. African buffalo gather in formidable herds, their massive forms stirring the shallows as they wade through the reeds. Lions, ever patient and alert, prowl the margins of the grasslands, their golden eyes fixed on the movements of potential prey. Above, flocks of carmine bee-eaters and iridescent kingfishers swoop and dive, their vibrant plumage painting the sky with flashes of crimson, blue and emerald. As dawn breaks, the Okavango Delta awakens in a symphony of sound and light. The first rays of sunlight illuminate a landscape shrouded in mist, where hippos surface with deep, resonant bellows that echo across the water. Jacanas, with their impossibly long toes, step delicately across floating lilies, barely disturbing the mirror-like surface. The air is alive with the calls of countless birds, each species adding its own note to the chorus of the wetlands. The Okavango Delta is a living masterpiece, sculpted by the ceaseless flow of water and the passage of time. Each sunrise reveals new stories, herds moving through the morning haze, dragonflies hovering above sunlit pools, and the endless interplay of predator and prey. Here, survival is a daily drama, played out in breathtaking detail against a backdrop of ever-changing beauty. Welcome to the Okavango Delta, where nature's grandest spectacle unfolds with every new day. The Okavango Delta is a living tapestry, its fate dictated by the rhythmic pulse of water that arrives and recedes with the seasons. Each year, this vast inland delta undergoes a breathtaking transformation, sculpted by the distant rains that fall hundreds of kilometres away in the Angolan highlands. As the floodwaters journey south, they breathe life into the parched landscape, setting in motion a cascade of ecological events that shape every living creature's existence. When the first surge of water spills into the delta, it transforms the dusty floodplains into a shimmering labyrinth of lagoons, channels, and emerald islands. The arrival of water is a signal for aquatic life to awaken. Hippos carve new trails through the flooded grass, their massive bodies shaping the waterways, while shoals of fish dart into the shallows, exploiting the sudden abundance of food and shelter. Frogs emerge from their burrows, their calls rising in a chorus that echoes across the wetlands, signalling the start of a new season. As the floodwaters spread, the landscape fragments into a mosaic of islands and channels. Red Leshwe antelope, perfectly adapted to this amphibious world, bound effortlessly through knee-deep water, gathering in herds on the last remnants of dry ground. Crocodiles, masters of stealth, glide between submerged trees, their eyes just above the surface, while egrets and herons stalk the shallows, their sharp beaks poised to strike at unsuspecting fish and amphibians. The shifting waters force predators to adapt their strategies. Lions, usually rulers of the open plains, now find themselves marooned on small islands, their golden coats blending with the sun-bleached grass as they scan the water for any sign of prey. Wild dogs, agile and resourceful, navigate the narrow strips of dry land, coordinating their movements with precision. Meanwhile, buffalo and zebra cluster together on isolated patches, their senses heightened, ever vigilant for threats that may emerge from both land and water. As the months pass, the floodwaters begin their slow retreat, unveiling vast mudflats rich in nutrients. This newly exposed land becomes a banquet for birds. Storks and spoonbills descend in flocks, their long bills probing the soft earth for hidden invertebrates, while the air fills with the flutter and calls of countless wings. The mudflats, teeming with life, provide a crucial feeding ground for migratory and resident species alike. As water becomes scarce, elephants, nature's engineers, use their powerful tusks to dig deep into the drying channels, unearthing hidden reserves of water that sustain not only themselves, but countless other animals. Warthogs and impala are drawn to the first flush of green grass that springs up in the wake of the floods, grazing alongside ostriches that stride purposefully across the open plains, searching for seeds and insects among the fresh growth. With the land drying and new grass flourishing, great herds of wildebeest and sisebe begin their migration across the sunlit grasslands, their movements stirring clouds of dust that shimmer in the heat. Cheetahs, masters of camouflage and speed, stalk silently through the tall grass, their eyes fixed on potential prey. Overhead, vultures circle in the clear blue sky, ever alert to the drama unfolding below, ready to seize any opportunity that arises. With each new dawn, the Okavango Delta is reborn. Dewdrops glisten on the fresh leaves, catching the first rays of sunlight, while dragonflies hover above blooming water lilies, their iridescent wings flashing in the morning light. The panoramic sweep of the delta reveals a landscape alive with movement and colour, every corner teeming with creatures adapted to the ever-changing conditions. Here, survival depends on the ability to respond to the relentless cycle of flood and drought, and every season writes a new chapter in the extraordinary story of this wilderness. As the Okavango's dry season tightens its grip, a pride of lions moves with calculated precision across these sun-baked plains. Their tawny coats, dappled by the shifting light, blend seamlessly with the brittle grass, making them nearly invisible to unsuspecting prey. Each step is measured, every movement a testament to their mastery of this arid domain. But as the distant rains in Angola swell the Okavango River, a dramatic transformation begins. Floodwaters surge into the delta, creeping steadily across the landscape. What was once a vast expanse of grassland is soon submerged beneath a glistening sheet of water, reshaping the very contours of the lion's territory. The pride, now marooned on shrinking islands, faces a new reality. Their once boundless range is fragmented into isolated patches of dry ground, each surrounded by an ever-expanding moat. The lion's world contracts, and with it the opportunities for hunting and movement. Adaptation becomes essential. Some lions, driven by hunger and instinct, venture into the water. They wade cautiously, muscles tensed, learning to swim between islands in pursuit of prey. Each crossing is fraught with risk, hidden currents, unseen obstacles, and the ever-present threat of crocodiles lurking beneath the surface. Meanwhile, Cape buffalo respond to the encroaching floodwaters with remarkable cohesion. Herds that once roamed independently now converge, forming massive congregations on the remaining high ground. Their numbers swell, each individual drawn by the promise of safety in unity. On these crowded islands, buffalo arrange themselves into formidable defensive circles. The adults, their horns gleaming and bodies braced, encircle the vulnerable calves. This living barricade is a powerful deterrent, presenting a wall of muscle and horn to any would-be predator. For the lions, these herds are both opportunity and obstacle. They watch from the shadows, calculating the risks. Attempts to approach are often met with a unified front. Buffalo standing shoulder to shoulder, their vigilance and sheer strength forcing the predators to withdraw, their strategies foiled. The relentless advance of the floodwaters spares no creature. Every inhabitant of the delta, from the smallest antelope to the largest predator, must adapt or perish. The ecosystem becomes a dynamic chessboard, each move dictated by the shifting boundaries of land and water. For young lions, this season is a crucible. Inexperienced and eager, they observe the adults, absorbing every lesson. They practice stalking, test their courage at the water's edge, and learn to navigate a world where prey is elusive and the rules of survival are constantly rewritten. The sheer mass of buffalo herds reshapes the delta itself. As they move, they trample reeds and grasses, forging new pathways through the waterlogged landscape. In their wake, lions are often displaced, forced to seek new territories or adapt to the altered terrain. At the margins where land meets water, dramatic confrontations unfold. Lions and buffalo face off in tense standoffs, each encounter a high-stakes contest of nerve, strategy, and instinct. The outcome is never certain, and the balance can shift in an instant. As the season progresses, the water's ebb and flow continually reshapes the delta. New islands emerge, old ones vanish, and the balance of power shifts accordingly, sometimes favouring the lions, at other times tipping toward the buffalo. Each season, both lions and buffalo refine their tactics. The lions develop new hunting strategies, while the buffalo perfect their defences. Their ongoing rivalry shapes not only their destinies but also the very landscape of the Okavango, forging an intricate web of survival. In this ever-changing wilderness, survival is a relentless contest of adaptation and ingenuity. Only those who evolve with the land, who read its shifting patterns and respond with resilience, can hope to endure the epic battles of the Okavango. Before the annual floodwaters sweep across the Okavango, the cheetah dominates the open plains. Its body is a marvel of evolutionary engineering. Lightweight bones, elongated limbs, and a flexible spine combine to unleash bursts of speed unmatched by any other land predator. Each stride covers up to 7 meters, and in the golden light, the cheetah's silhouette is a fleeting shadow, vanishing almost as soon as it appears. But as the Okavango's transformation begins, the landscape shifts beneath the cheetah's feet. Water creeps silently into the grasslands, submerging familiar trails and turning once firm earth into a treacherous patchwork of mud and shallow pools. The cheetah's greatest asset, its speed, becomes a liability, as every step risks a stumble or a sudden plunge into unseen water. For a mother cheetah, the stakes are even higher. She must navigate this shifting labyrinth with her vulnerable cubs in tow, seeking out the last remaining ridges and islands of dry ground. Each leap over a puddle is a lesson in caution, each pause a moment to scan for lurking threats, both from predators and the elements themselves. The art of hunting is forced to evolve. Where once the cheetah relied on open space for lightning-fast pursuits, now it must adapt to a world of obstacles. Stalking replaces sprinting. Prey selection narrows to smaller, isolated animals, reedbuck, young impala, or even ground birds, while cubs learn to pounce and stalk in the shallow water, their play doubling as vital training for survival. In the same transformed landscape, the serval emerges as a master of adaptation. Its long, slender legs are perfectly suited for wading through flooded meadows, allowing it to move with remarkable agility across floating vegetation. The serval's dappled coat, a mosaic of gold and black, renders it nearly invisible among the reeds and shadows. The serval's most extraordinary feature is its oversized ears, which rotate independently to triangulate the faintest sounds. In the chorus of the delta, where frogs croak, insects buzz, and small mammals rustle, the serval can pinpoint the exact location of hidden prey, even beneath dense cover or shallow water. With a sudden, explosive leap, the serval can launch itself over 2 meters into the air, snatching birds mid-flight or pouncing with surgical precision on rodents and amphibians. Its hunting style is a blend of patience and athleticism, perfectly attuned to the flooded world it inhabits. Deep within the protective embrace of the reeds, serval families thrive. The dense vegetation offers both concealment and a rich hunting ground. Here, mothers nurture their kittens, teaching them to listen for the faintest tremor, and to leap with confidence, ensuring the next generation inherits the skills needed for this watery domain. Occasionally, the paths of cheetah and serval cross, one pausing atop a dry mound, the other weaving silently through the reeds. Both are attuned to the ever-present sounds of the delta, their senses heightened by the constant interplay of predator and prey. The ground itself records their stories. The cheetah's tracks, pressed deep into the mud, speak of struggle and perseverance. In contrast, the serval's delicate prints trace a path of effortless movement, a testament to its mastery of the flooded terrain. The Okavango's ever-shifting mosaic of water and grassland is both a challenge and an opportunity. For the cheetah, the flood brings hardship and uncertainty, demanding ingenuity and resilience. For the serval, it is a season of abundance, where every pool and reed bed offers new possibilities. As night falls and the moon casts silver patterns across the wetlands, both cats continue their silent work. The serval stalks through moonlit shallows, while the cheetah surveys the dawn-lit plain, each adapting in real time to the shifting boundaries of land and water. From above, the delta reveals its intricate network of channels and islands, each one a stage for the unfolding drama of survival. The cheetah and the serval, though shaped by the same forces, carve out distinct destinies, one defined by the pursuit of speed, the other by the art of adaptation. In the Okavango, only those who master the language of water endure, their stories written in every ripple and track left behind. In the heart of the Okavango Delta, hippos glide with remarkable grace through the maze of winding waterways. Their immense barrel-shaped bodies move almost silently, yet with every step and shift they carve new channels into the soft, silty earth. These living architects are constantly at work, their daily routines subtly but powerfully reshaping the landscape. As they travel, their weight presses deep into the riverbed, forging intricate networks of paths that allow water to flow into remote corners of the floodplain, nourishing the land and sustaining a delicate balance for countless species. These hippo highways are more than mere trails, they are vital arteries of the delta. During the harsh dry season, when water becomes scarce and the sun bakes the earth, these channels guide precious water through the parched landscape. The result is a patchwork of lush green oases where life clings to the margins and flourishes against the odds. Every hoofprint and wallow becomes a microhabitat, supporting frogs, insects and aquatic plants that would otherwise struggle to survive. By day, hippos spend hours submerged, their nostrils, eyes and ears just above the surface, perfectly adapted for aquatic life. Their skin, sensitive to the harsh African sun, is protected by a unique secretion, often called blood sweat, that acts as both sunscreen and antibacterial shield. As dusk settles over the delta, hippos emerge from the water in near silence, venturing onto the floodplains to graze. Their nocturnal foraging trims the grasses, maintaining open spaces that benefit antelope, buffalo, and a host of bird species, each dependent on the mosaic of habitats hippos help create. Towering above the reeds and papyrus, elephants traverse the Okavango in vast, tightly knit herds. Their sheer size and strength are matched only by their intelligence and social complexity. Calves protected within the group learn the intricacies of the landscape by mimicking the adults, their trunks constantly exploring, touching and learning. Each member of the herd, from the youngest to the oldest, plays a role in the survival and cohesion of the group. Elephants are the delta's engineers, wielding their trunks and tusks with astonishing dexterity. They topple trees to open up new clearings, allowing sunlight to reach the ground and encouraging the growth of fresh vegetation. With powerful limbs, they dig deep into sandy riverbeds, unearthing hidden springs that become lifelines for wildlife during the driest months. Their relentless search for food and water reshapes riverbanks, exposing roots and creating new habitats for a multitude of creatures, from burrowing insects to amphibians and fish. The waterholes elephants create quickly become vibrant centres of life. Herds of zebra and antelope gather to drink, while flocks of storks and herons wade through the shallows in search of food. Even crocodiles, ever watchful, bask at the water's edge, and dragonflies dart above the surface, their wings catching the sunlight. Each new pool is a testament to the elephant's profound influence, supporting a web of life that radiates outward through the ecosystem. At the core of every elephant herd stands the matriarch, a figure of wisdom and memory. Her experience guides the group through the shifting seasons, as she recalls the locations of distant waterholes and safe passageways. With a subtle pause to test the wind or a gentle rumble, she communicates decisions that ensure the safety and survival of her family. Her leadership is the result of decades of learning, and her knowledge is passed down generation after generation. The bonds within elephant families are deep and enduring. Social interactions, gentle trunk touches, low-frequency rumbles, and playful sparring among the young reinforce these connections. During times of hardship, such as drought or flood, These relationships provide comfort and resilience, allowing the herd to adapt and thrive in a landscape that is constantly in flux. Where hippos and elephants converge, the landscape is transformed. Hippos deepen channels and maintain open water, while elephants expand grasslands and create new wetlands. Their combined activities foster a dynamic environment where sandbanks become resting places for hippos and feeding grounds for birds, and where the presence of both giants ensures a rich diversity of habitats for all who share the delta. The intelligence and strength of these animals ripple through the ecosystem. An elephant's trumpet at dawn signals the start of a new day, while a hippo's alert gaze keeps watch over the water. Their actions influence the behavior of every creature around them, from the smallest reed frog hiding among the grasses to the majestic fish eagle soaring overhead, each responding to the subtle cues and changes brought about by these ecosystem giants. In this watery wilderness, the largest animals are also its most attentive caretakers. Every movement, every decision shapes the land, whether it's a herd crossing a channel at sunrise or a pod of hippos stirring the water at dusk. The delta's rhythms are set by their presence, and its future depends on their continued stewardship. The Okavango's abundance is a living testament to the influence of hippos and elephants. Herds of red lechwe leap through the shallows, pelicans glide effortlessly above the water, and the air is alive with the calls of countless birds. Each species finds its niche in the complex web of life, supported by the habitats and resources shaped by these remarkable animals. From above, the Okavango reveals itself as a living mosaic. Winding rivers, scattered islands, and shimmering lagoons, all sculpted by the daily movements of hippos and elephants. Their legacy is written into the very fabric of the land, ensuring that the delta remains a sanctuary for generations of wildlife yet to come. African wild dogs, or painted wolves, are among the Okavango Delta's most efficient and enigmatic predators. Their success is not rooted in sheer strength, but in a sophisticated blend of social intelligence, adaptability, and relentless teamwork. Each member of the pack plays a vital role, and their survival hinges on a finely tuned balance of cooperation and communication. At first light, the pack gathers for intricate greeting rituals. These ceremonies, filled with excited vocalizations, tail wags, and gentle nuzzles, are more than displays of affection. They are essential for reinforcing social bonds and synchronizing the group's intentions. Every gesture and sound helps align the pack's energy, ensuring unity before the day's hunt. The Okavango's seasonal floods transform the landscape into a shifting labyrinth of water and islands. Wild dogs respond with remarkable agility, learning new routes and adapting their hunting strategies to the ever-changing terrain. They move with purpose, reading subtle cues in the environment, scent trails left in the mud, the direction of the wind, and the calls of distant prey. When the hunt begins, the pack divides into specialized teams. Some members drive prey toward natural obstacles, rivers, dense thickets, or open water, while others flank and anticipate escape routes. Communication is constant, with high-pitched calls and body language guiding the coordinated assault. Every movement is calculated, every role understood. Wild dogs are built for endurance. Their lean bodies and long legs allow them to sustain high-speed chases over several kilometers, often outlasting even the swiftest antelope. The pack's ability to change direction in perfect synchrony confuses and exhausts their quarry, making escape nearly impossible. After a successful hunt, the pack's social structure becomes evident. pups and the most vulnerable feed first, protected by vigilant adults. Older members regurgitate meat for those unable to eat solid food, while injured or sick individuals are tended with remarkable care, fed, groomed and shielded from harm. This profound sense of social responsibility is woven into every aspect of wild dog life. Grooming, nurturing and constant physical contact reinforce the bonds that hold the pack together. Each member's well-being is a shared priority, creating a network of mutual support rarely seen among large carnivores. Whether traversing flooded plains or weaving through dense woodland, the pack moves as a single, cohesive unit. No member is left behind. Adults encourage hesitant pups, and the group pauses to allow stragglers to catch up. This unity is their greatest defence against the unpredictable challenges of the Delta. The Okavango's climate is unforgiving. Wild dogs endure blistering heat, sudden downpours, and the constant threat of rising floodwaters. Yet their resilience is unmatched. By relying on each other, they not only survive but thrive in one of Africa's most demanding environments. When rival predators or scavengers approach, the pack responds with swift, collective action. They form defensive lines, bark in unison, and regroup rapidly after any confrontation. This coordinated defence ensures the safety of their young and the security of their hard-won meals. The fabric of the pack is woven through constant interaction, playful sparring, gentle nuzzles, and moments of quiet companionship. These daily exchanges build trust and reinforce the intricate social structure that underpins their survival. As the sun sets over the Okavango, the pack gathers for the night. Their howls echo across the delta, a chorus that strengthens their unity and marks their territory. In the darkness, they rest together, drawing warmth and reassurance from the presence of the group. Here, in the heart of Africa's wildest delta, it is the wild dog's extraordinary teamwork, adaptability, and social cohesion that secure their legacy as one of the continent's most remarkable and enduring predators. The Okavango Delta, a shimmering oasis in the heart of southern Africa, is a haven for avian diversity. Here, over 500 bird species find refuge among a patchwork of wetlands, dense woodlands and sweeping grasslands, each habitat offering unique opportunities for survival and spectacle. The unmistakable cry of the African fish eagle pierces the dawn, echoing across tranquil waterways. This regal raptor, perched high above, surveys its domain with keen eyesight, ready to swoop down and snatch fish from the surface in a display of precision. Nearby, kingfishers, adorned in iridescent blues and fiery oranges, dart from overhanging branches, plunging headfirst into crystal-clear lagoons. Their rapid dives and lightning-fast reflexes make them formidable hunters, perfectly adapted to the delta's aquatic bounty. Along the riverbanks, weaver birds showcase their architectural prowess. With remarkable dexterity, they weave intricate nests from reeds and grasses, suspending them above the water's edge. These pendulous homes sway gently in the breeze, cleverly positioned to deter snakes and other predators. Each nest is a testament to the ingenuity and persistence of its builder, and colonies of these vibrant birds transform the landscape into a living gallery of natural design. In the shallows, the saddle-billed stork stands tall and statuesque, its striking red and yellow bill a vivid contrast against the green marsh. With deliberate movements, it stalks fish and amphibians, striking with swift accuracy. Nearby, pelicans glide in synchronized formation, their expansive wings casting shadows over the water. Working together, they corral schools of fish, then scoop them up with their capacious bills, demonstrating the power of cooperation in the wild. Out on the open savanna, the secretary bird commands attention. Its elongated legs and upright posture allow it to stride effortlessly through tall grasses, scanning for movement below. With a sudden burst of speed, it delivers powerful kicks to dispatch snakes and small mammals, a hunting technique unique among birds of prey. The secretary bird's presence is both elegant and formidable, a specialist perfectly attuned to its environment. When life ends, the Delta's clean-up crew arrives. Vultures descend in spiralling flocks, their keen eyesight guiding them to the remains of fallen animals. With efficient precision, they strip carcasses clean, preventing the spread of disease and returning vital nutrients to the ecosystem. Among them, the marabou stork stands tall and imposing, its bald head and massive bill adapted for scavenging. Together, these birds play a crucial role in maintaining the delicate balance of the Okavango's food web. Above the reeds, bee-eaters perform aerial acrobatics, flashing emerald and gold as they snatch insects mid-flight. Their slender bodies and pointed wings make them masters of the air, while their communal nesting habits foster tight-knit colonies. Perched nearby, the lilac-breasted roller displays a kaleidoscope of colours, turquoise, violet and chestnut, its feathers gleaming in the sunlight. This bird's flamboyant courtship flights and vivid plumage make it one of the Delta's most celebrated residents. Hidden among the foliage, the red-chested cuckoo announces its presence with a distinctive, melodious call. This elusive bird is a harbinger of change, its song signalling the imminent arrival of the rains. As the Delta transforms with the seasons, the cuckoo's call serves as a natural calendar, guiding countless species in their annual cycles of migration and breeding. On the floating mats of lilies, African jacanas appear to walk on water. Their impossibly long toes distribute their weight, allowing them to traverse delicate surfaces in search of insects and seeds. These lily trotters are a marvel of adaptation, their unique gait and foraging style enabling them to exploit a niche few others can reach. Among the lilies, pygmy geese glide with effortless grace, their compact bodies and striking plumage blending seamlessly with the blooms. In the open water, flocks of white-faced whistling ducks move in perfect synchrony, their soft melodic calls weaving through the air. These gatherings are more than mere spectacle. They are vital social events, strengthening bonds and ensuring the survival of the flock. As the sun dips below the horizon, African skimmers take to the water's edge. With elongated lower mandibles, they slice through the surface, feeling for fish in the fading light. Their unique feeding technique is a marvel of evolution, allowing them to hunt efficiently in the twilight hours when competition is scarce. Every wing beat, every call, and every flash of colour contributes to the intricate tapestry of the Okavango. Here, birds are not merely inhabitants, they are the pulse and poetry of this wild paradise, each species playing a vital role in the ongoing story of survival, adaptation, and beauty that defines the Delta. In the Okavango Delta, life is not a collection of isolated creatures, but a living network. Each organism, from the largest mammal to the smallest insect, is a vital strand in a vast ecological tapestry. The landscape itself is shaped by the pulse of water, the rhythm of seasons, and the intricate relationships that bind every species to its neighbours. Herds of grazers traverse the grasslands in a delicate choreography. Zebras, with their sharp incisors, trim the coarse blades, paving the way for wildebeest, who favour the shorter, softer shoots. Impalas and lechwe follow, selecting the freshest growth, while sable antelope graze in the cool dawn, each species subtly altering the landscape for those that come after. Hippos, massive and powerful, carve deep channels through the reeds, creating aquatic highways that allow fish and smaller animals to move freely. Elephants, the architects of the delta, dig into parched riverbeds to reveal hidden water, sustaining countless lives during the dry months. Termites, though tiny, construct towering mounds that rise above the floodplain, providing elevated refuges for plants and animals, and even altering soil composition to support new growth. Buffalo churn the mud as they wallow. Warthogs unearth bulbs and roots, and giraffes delicately strip leaves from the highest branches, each action shaping the environment in unique ways. Insects are the silent engineers of the delta. Butterflies and bees pollinate wildflowers, ensuring the next generation of plants. Dung beetles tirelessly recycle waste, tunneling beneath the soil and enriching it with nutrients. Ants aerate the earth, while weaver birds, with astonishing precision, weave elaborate nests that sway above the water, providing shelter for their young and influencing the distribution of other species. Predators are the regulators of this ecosystem. Lions stalk the herds, their presence alone shaping the movement and behavior of prey. Cheetahs, built for speed, chase down the swiftest antelope, while wild dogs hunt with relentless coordination. Leopards descend from trees at dusk, servals leap through tall grass, and crocodiles lie in wait at the water's edge. Each predator employing unique strategies to survive, and in doing so maintaining the delicate balance between abundance and scarcity. The perpetual contest between hunter and hunted sharpens instincts and drives innovation. Antelope herds remain ever vigilant, their senses attuned to the slightest movement. Baboons sound piercing alarm calls, triggering a cascade of reactions. Herds scatter in coordinated flight, and flocks of birds erupt into the sky, each response a testament to the constant vigilance required for survival. When a life ends, a new process begins. Vultures descend from the sky, their keen eyesight locating the fallen. Hyenas and jackals arrive, tearing sinew and bone, while marabou storks pick clean what remains. Dung beetles and ants swarm over the remnants, ensuring that nothing is wasted, and every fragment is returned to the earth. Decomposers complete the cycle. Fungi break down tough fibres, earthworms tunnel through the soil, and mosses reclaim fallen branches, transforming decay into fertile ground. This recycling of nutrients fuels the next surge of plant growth, sustaining the entire ecosystem. From the towering elephant to the industrious beetle, from the reed frog's twilight chorus to the vigilant mongoose family, every creature plays a distinct role. Their coexistence is a testament to the complexity and harmony of the delta, where even the smallest life can influence the fate of the largest. The Okavango's abundance is sustained by a web of interdependence. Flocks of birds migrate with the seasons, shoals of fish navigate crystal channels, and otters glide between lily pads, while kingfishers dive with precision. Each movement, each interaction, is a thread in the fabric of life, binding water, land and sky in seamless unity. Competition and cooperation are ever present. At crowded watering holes, species jostle for space, yet often feed side by side. Wild dogs and hyenas cross paths, sometimes rivals, sometimes opportunists. Bee-eaters nest in sandy banks above crocodiles and turtles, while herons and storks fish together, each exploiting a different niche, their destinies intertwined by the demands of survival. The passage of time is marked by cycles of renewal. Sunrise and sunset paint the delta in shifting hues. Floodwaters advance, transforming dry plains into vibrant wetlands. Newborn wildebeest take their first tentative steps, while trees burst into bloom after the rains. Each season brings change, demanding resilience and adaptation from every inhabitant. Beneath the surface, a hidden network thrives. Animal trails crisscross the grasslands, waterways link distant habitats, and spiderwebs glisten with morning dew. Underground, roots and mycelium form living bridges, connecting plants and sharing resources. Water ripples through tangled reeds, carrying nutrients and life to every corner. This is the true web of life, complex, resilient and endlessly interconnected, where every connection matters and every life, no matter how small, is part of the Okavango's enduring legacy. As dawn breaks over the Okavango, golden light weaves through papyrus reeds, casting a gentle glow upon the water's surface. Hippos, nearly invisible beneath the calm, breathe in unison with the rhythm of the delta, while dragonflies dart and hover, their wings catching the first rays of morning. Each element here is a thread in a tapestry of ancient wisdom, where every ripple and shadow holds a story of adaptation and survival. Beneath the lily pads, crocodiles glide with practiced stealth, their eyes barely breaking the surface. Above, jacanas, masters of balance, tiptoe across floating leaves, their elongated toes distributing weight so delicately that the water barely stirs. Reed frogs, camouflaged against slender stalks, demonstrate the art of invisibility, their emerald hues merging perfectly with the reeds. Here, survival is not brute force, but a ballet of subtle movements and silent observation. Ingenuity flourishes in the Okavango's wild heart. The honey badger, armoured by thick skin and relentless determination, braves swarms of stinging bees to unearth a hidden meal. Nearby, a mongoose family moves as a coordinated unit, their sharp eyes and quick reflexes keeping them safe from lurking predators. Overhead, the African fish eagle circles with unwavering focus, its talons poised to snatch a tilapia from the water's surface, a testament to precision honed by generations. The wisdom of guardianship is evident as Sasabe antelope form a living shield around their calves, each adult vigilant, scanning the horizon for threats. In the aftermath of rain, bullfrogs emerge from their muddy refuge, their resonant calls rising above the chorus of insects. These amphibians have mastered patience, waiting for the precise moment when the land is renewed by water before making their presence known. Adaptation is the signature of life here. Red lechwe, with their elongated hooves, bound effortlessly through flooded grasslands, their movements sending sparkling arcs of water into the air. As dusk falls, painted reed frogs gather in hidden enclaves, their vibrant calls weaving a tapestry of sound that signals territory and attracts mates, each note a declaration of survival. Ingenious alliances shape the landscape. Termite mounds, towering above the floodplain, are masterpieces of engineering. Ventilated, temperature-controlled fortresses built by countless tiny architects. These structures become havens for carmine bee-eaters who carve nesting tunnels into the sun-baked walls. As dusk deepens, baobab trees unfurl their branches to shelter swirling clouds of fruit bats, whose nightly forays help pollinate the ancient giants. The Okavango is a stage for constant vigilance and calculated risk. Buffalo herds encircle their young, forming an impenetrable barrier as lions linger at the periphery, the air thick with anticipation. In the tall grass, a serval moves with ghost-like precision, its oversized ears swivelling to catch the faintest sound. A single misstep could mean the difference between feast and famine. Precision and perseverance are the hallmarks of survival. The malachite kingfisher, a jewel among birds, waits motionless above a stream, calculating the perfect moment to strike. As twilight deepens, a pangolin unfurls from its protective coil, its armoured scales shimmering in the fading light as it embarks on a solitary search for ants, undeterred by the challenges of the night. Harmony is found in the smallest interactions. Sable antelope graze in the golden hour, their coats gleaming as oxpeckers meticulously remove parasites, a partnership built on mutual benefit. In the shadows, an African wildcat slips silently through the reeds, its eyes catching the last glimmers of daylight, every movement a study in stealth and grace. The artistry of survival is evident in every corner. Weaver birds, tireless architects, suspend intricate nests above swirling waters, each structure a marvel of design and resilience. On a sun-warmed log, a monitor lizard basks, its tongue flicking to sample the scents carried on the breeze, ever alert to the presence of prey or rival. Play and vigilance coexist in the Okavango's waterways. Otters glide through crystal-clear channels, their playful antics masking a constant awareness of lurking threats. As night falls, a herd of tsesebe stands silhouetted against the rising moon, the hush of evening settling over the floodplain, a moment of peace in a world governed by instinct. The smallest architects leave the most delicate marks. Dew-laden spiderwebs shimmer in the pre-dawn light, each strand a testament to patience and precision. On floating nests, African jacanas tend to their eggs, their careful steps among the lilies ensuring the next generation's survival in a world of shifting waters. The Okavango's cycles are written across its vast floodplains. Herds move in synchrony, their paths guided by the ebb and flow of water, while distant thunderclouds gather on the horizon, heralding the rains that will renew the land and sustain its intricate web of life. As the sun sets, the last golden rays illuminate a lone elephant calf trailing behind its mother, the air thick with tranquility. In this sanctuary, the wisdom of nature is ever present, an endless legacy, unfolding with each new dawn and every silent night. Beneath the glassy surface of the Okavango's labyrinthine waterways, ancient eyes break the waterline, silent, unblinking, and ever watchful. Here, in a realm where the boundary between water and land blurs, crocodiles reign as both predators and stewards of their aquatic kingdom. In the pale light of dawn, crocodiles glide effortlessly through the mist, their bodies nearly indistinguishable from the tangled reeds and drifting debris. Their camouflage is so complete that even the most vigilant prey rarely senses the danger lurking just beneath the surface. Each movement is deliberate, every ripple a calculated act. When a crocodile settles in the shallows, it becomes a living sculpture. Jaws slightly parted, muscles coiled beneath armoured scales, embodying patience honed by millions of years of evolution. The intricate patterns on their skin shimmer beneath the water, providing both protection and concealment, a testament to their mastery of stealth. Schools of fish, oblivious to the lurking peril, weave through submerged roots and tangled aquatic plants. The river teems with life, each creature playing its part in the delicate balance of the delta. In a flash of muscle and precision, the crocodile erupts from its stillness, jaws snapping shut around an unsuspecting fish. The water churns for a heartbeat, then settles once more, the predator vanishing as swiftly as it appeared, leaving only a faint ripple as evidence of the hunt. Yet the role of the crocodile extends far beyond that of a hunter. These ancient reptiles are vital engineers of the Okavango's seasonal rhythms. As the dry season tightens its grip, crocodiles use their formidable strength to carve secret channels through the mud, sculpting hidden pools that will become sanctuaries for fish, frogs, and countless invertebrates. These excavations are crucial, preserving pockets of life until the nourishing floods return. These secluded pools, veiled by reeds and shaded by overhanging branches, transform into vital oases. Here, amphibians chorus at dusk, fish dart in the dappled light, and thirsty animals gather, drawn by the promise of water in a parched landscape. Crocodiles possess an uncanny sense of timing, attuned to the subtle rhythms of the delta. As herds of antelope and other wildlife approach the riverbanks, crocodiles remain submerged, their nostrils and eyes barely visible above the water. They wait, motionless, reading the vibrations of hooves and the shifting patterns of light on the surface. When opportunity arises, a misstep, a moment's hesitation, the crocodile launches with explosive force. The ambush is a blur of power, water and instinct, a display of predatory prowess that has remained unchanged for millennia. Even during the hottest hours, crocodiles exhibit a remarkable social structure, gathering in groups along the riverbanks. Lined up along the muddy banks, they bask in the sun's warmth, their bodies absorbing heat to fuel their metabolism. This communal sunbathing is not random. Dominant individuals secure the prime spots, while others must settle for the periphery. Juvenile crocodiles linger at the edges, observing and learning from their elders. Here they master the delicate balance between boldness and caution, skills essential for survival in a world where danger is ever present. As dusk falls and the stars ignite above the delta, crocodiles slip silently back into the water, resuming their nocturnal patrols. Their senses sharpen in the darkness, eyes reflecting the faintest glimmer of moonlight, bodies moving with ghostly grace through the inky water. Every vibration, every subtle splash is registered and analysed. In these silent hours, crocodiles become the unseen guardians of the delta, patrolling their territories with unwavering vigilance, ensuring the balance of this ancient ecosystem endures. Whether stalking prey, basking in the sun, or sculpting the landscape, crocodiles are the silent architects of the Okavango's pulse. Their presence is woven into every current and shadow, a living testament to the resilience and complexity of life in the delta. In the Okavango, the crocodile's story is inseparable from the story of the land itself, a saga of survival, adaptation, and the enduring power of nature's most enigmatic predator. As the sun's final embers slip behind the papyrus reeds, the Okavango Delta undergoes a profound metamorphosis. The air cools, shadows lengthen, and the landscape is bathed in a gentle indigo glow, signalling the arrival of night's secretive inhabitants. The giants of daylight, elephants, buffalo and antelope, fade into the background, ceding the stage to a remarkable array of nocturnal specialists. These creatures, sculpted by evolution for the challenges of darkness, emerge with senses sharpened and instincts honed for survival beneath the stars. The first voices to pierce the night are those of the frogs. Their chorus, a complex symphony of trills and croaks, serves both as a mating call and a territorial warning. Each species contributes its own unique note, creating a layered soundscape that ripples across the water's edge. In the dense undergrowth, the spring hare makes its appearance. With elongated hind limbs reminiscent of a kangaroo, it is built for explosive leaps, propelling itself effortlessly through the moonlit grasses in search of roots and tubers. The spring hare halts, nose quivering as it samples the scents carried on the night breeze. Its oversized ears rotate independently, capturing the faintest rustle, a vital adaptation in a world where danger can approach in utter silence. Overhead, bush babies, also known as galagos, spring between the slender branches of acacia trees. Their enormous forward-facing eyes gather every available photon, granting them exceptional night vision and a ghostly, reflective gaze. Each leap is a calculated act of agility, their padded feet absorbing the impact as they land with barely a whisper, evading both predators and rivals in the treetops. Pausing on a sturdy limb, the bush babies delicately peel away bark to access sweet gum or pluck insects from the surface. Their dexterous fingers and acute sense of smell guide them to hidden morsels, sustaining them through the long hours of darkness. The night transforms the delta into a realm of exploration and opportunity. Every movement is purposeful, every shadow a potential hiding place or hunting ground. Along the shimmering water's edge, the African civet emerges. Its striking pattern of stripes and spots breaks up its outline, rendering it nearly invisible as it glides through the interplay of moonlight and reeds. The civet's movements are fluid and deliberate. It lowers its head, nostrils flaring, as it deciphers the complex tapestry of scents left by other animals, each one a clue to recent activity and potential prey. Suddenly, the civet lunges, capturing a beetle with swift precision. It savors its catch, then slips away into the dense thicket, leaving barely a trace of its passage. Out on the open floodplain, the serval cat begins its nightly patrol. Its slender frame and long legs allow it to move effortlessly through the dew-laden grass, each step calculated to avoid detection. The serval's oversized ears, capable of rotating independently, scan for the faintest vibrations, a rodent's heartbeat or the scuttle of an insect beneath the soil. With a sudden vertical leap, sometimes reaching over 2 meters, the serval pounces, pinning its prey with astonishing accuracy. This acrobatic feat is a testament to its specialized hunting technique, perfected over millennia. The night's tapestry is further enriched by the presence of the spotted genet, a lithe and agile predator distantly related to the bush baby. The genet weaves between tree trunks, its ringed tail held aloft for balance. It hunts with stealth, seeking out sleeping birds nestled in foliage or insects hidden beneath bark. Every step is measured, every sense heightened. The genet's large eyes and sensitive whiskers help it navigate the labyrinth of shadows, ever wary of larger predators that also prowl the darkness. Above the canopy, the barn owl takes flight. Its broad wings and specialized feathers allow it to glide in absolute silence, a ghostly presence scanning the ground for the slightest movement. With a sudden, controlled dive, the owl descends, talons extended. In a heartbeat, it seizes a shrew, its acute hearing having pinpointed the prey's exact location beneath the grass. Perched against the starlit sky, the barn owl releases a call, a soft, eerie screech that resonates through the night, staking its claim over this patch of wilderness. Beneath the surface, the delta's waterways teem with activity. Nocturnal fish and amphibians emerge from their daytime refuges, taking advantage of the cover darkness provides. Small catfish wriggle from muddy burrows, their sensitive barbels sweeping the substrate for edible morsels. These whiskered hunters are vital to the aquatic food web, recycling nutrients and controlling insect populations. Reed frogs, their skin shimmering with iridescent hues, cling to slender stalks above the water. Nearby, fishing spiders skate effortlessly across the surface, their legs adapted to sense vibrations and snatch insects drawn to the moonlit riverbanks. Across the delta, the darkness is alive with movement. Every patch of shadow conceals a story, predators on the hunt, prey on the move, and countless interactions unfolding in the tapestry of night. Adaptations for nocturnal life are as varied as the creatures themselves. Some rely on oversized ears to detect the faintest sounds, others on whiskers to navigate unseen obstacles, and many on the art of silent movement to avoid detection. The night world of the Okavango is a realm of subtlety and concealment. Here, camouflage and patience are as valuable as speed or strength, and survival depends on blending seamlessly into the ever-shifting mosaic of shadow and light. As the horizon brightens and the first blush of dawn paints the sky, the nocturnal denizens withdraw. Some vanish into burrows, others climb into hollow trees or burrow deep within tangled thickets, seeking refuge from the coming day. Their presence lingers in the soft mud, tracks pressed into the earth, and in the fading echoes of their calls, a silent record of the vibrant hidden life that pulses through the Okavango Delta after sundown. As the first silver hints of dawn shimmer across the Okavango's flooded plains, the landscape awakens with a quiet intensity. At ground level, beneath the ethereal veil of morning mist, a hidden world stirs, a realm where insects and amphibians orchestrate a complex, interdependent ballet of survival, each movement dictated by ancient rhythms and the subtle cues of the wetland. Here the air is thick with anticipation. Insects and amphibians, both predator and prey, share the same stage, their destinies intertwined in a perpetual cycle of adaptation and response. Every blade of grass, every droplet of dew, becomes a backdrop for their daily struggle and cooperation. Perched atop slender reeds, jewel-toned reed frogs emerge from their nighttime refuge. Their skin, a mosaic of emerald, sapphire and gold, glistens with the morning's condensation, each droplet magnifying the intricate patterns that serve as both camouflage and warning. Just above, a swirling cloud of midges dances in the golden light. Their delicate wings refract the sun's first rays, creating a shimmering haze that signals both opportunity and danger. These insects, though ephemeral, are vital links in the wetland's food web. For the reed frogs, each midge represents a fleeting chance for nourishment. With astonishing precision, they launch themselves into the air, their movements honed by countless generations of evolutionary refinement. Timing is everything. One miscalculation and the opportunity vanishes. A single, lightning-fast flick of a sticky tongue brings the hunt to a close. The frog's meal is secured, and the balance of the morning shifts ever so slightly. Each successful catch is a testament to the delicate interplay between predator and prey. Along the muddy banks, African bullfrogs rise from their shallow burrows, their robust bodies caked in damp earth. Their deep, resonant calls reverberate across the water, serving as both territorial declarations and invitations to potential mates. These vocalizations are powerful enough to ripple the surface of the delta's pools. Drawn by the vibrations and the scent of opportunity, dung beetles converge on the scene. With remarkable strength, they roll their nutrient-rich cargo across the saturated ground, aerating the soil and recycling organic matter as they go. Their presence is essential for maintaining the health of the wetland ecosystem. The frogs, ever watchful, remain motionless as the beetles pass by. In this shared habitat, predators and scavengers coexist, each respecting invisible boundaries shaped by instinct and necessity. Their interactions are subtle, yet vital to the balance of the delta. Overhead, dragonflies patrol the airspace above water lilies. Their iridescent bodies flash with electric hues of blue and green, wings beating in a blur as they hunt for mosquitoes and other small insects. These aerial hunters are among the most agile predators of the wetland. Among the lilies, painted reed frogs add their voices to the morning chorus. Their soft, rhythmic chirrups blend seamlessly with the hum of dragonfly wings, creating a soundscape unique to the Okavango. This chorus serves as both communication and camouflage, masking the presence of individuals from would-be predators. As dragonflies swoop and dive, their movements disturb smaller flies hidden among the vegetation. These sudden bursts of activity provide opportunistic amphibians with easy targets, demonstrating the intricate connections that define this ecosystem. Deep within the dense undergrowth, a foam nest frog clings tenaciously to a broad leaf. She guards a gelatinous clutch of eggs, each orb a fragile promise of the next generation. The nest, constructed from secretions whipped into a protective foam, shields the developing embryos from dehydration and predators. Nearby, a column of ants marches with unwavering determination along a plant stem. Drawn by the scent of the eggs, they probe the nest's defences, their antennae twitching as they search for vulnerabilities. The frog, alert to every movement, reacts instantly. With a swift flick of her limb, she sends an intruding ant tumbling away, her vigilance the only barrier between her offspring and the relentless tide of would-be predators. The survival of the nest hinges on this delicate equilibrium, amphibians defending their vulnerable young, insects probing for sustenance. Each encounter is a microcosm of the broader struggle for life in the delta. As the sun climbs higher, the temperature triggers a spectacular event. From hidden mounds, termites erupt in synchronized swarms, their pale bodies rising in dense columns. This mass emergence is both a reproductive strategy and a feast for the wetland's opportunistic hunters. Tree frogs, poised on overhanging branches, launch themselves into the air with remarkable agility. Their leaps are perfectly timed to intercept the airborne termites, each catch a display of precision and speed. In these fleeting moments, the frog's reflexes are put to the ultimate test. Each successful capture is the result of finely tuned senses and lightning-fast reactions, the product of evolutionary pressures unique to this environment. Elsewhere in the undergrowth, a mantis lies in wait, its forelegs poised for a silent ambush. Nearby, a group of toads gathers after a recent rain, their collective calls echoing through the wetland. Each species, in its own way, contributes to the intricate tapestry of life that defines the Okavango. Insects and amphibians serve as the architects of this ecosystem. Pollinators ensure the continuation of plant life, while amphibians regulate insect populations and provide sustenance for larger predators. Their interactions, both direct and indirect, sustain the delicate balance that allows the delta to thrive. As the sun ascends and the air grows warmer, the wetland's smallest inhabitants retreat into the shelter of dense foliage and cool shadows. Their morning performances complete, they vanish from sight, conserving energy and avoiding the midday heat. In the Okavango Delta, even the tiniest creatures wield immense influence. Through their daily actions, each leap, each flight, each chorus, They shape the destiny of the floodplain, ensuring that the cycles of life continue, vibrant and unbroken, beneath the African sun. Beneath the shimmering surface of the Okavango Delta, a hidden migration pulses with life, one rarely glimpsed by human eyes, yet fundamental to the ecosystem's vitality. Here, the aquatic world is in constant motion, responding to the seasonal rise and fall of the floodwaters. As the annual floods sweep across the delta, sunlight pierces the water, illuminating ribbons of silver and bronze as countless fish surge forward. These schools, shimmering in the dappled light, navigate intricate channels carved by the river's flow, their bodies glinting with every subtle movement. Among the most formidable travellers are the tigerfish, sleek, muscular predators with jaws lined in needle-sharp teeth. Driven by ancient instinct, they gather in restless schools, pushing upstream towards spawning grounds newly revealed by the advancing waters. Their journey is a race against time, dictated by the rhythm of the flood. Each leap over submerged logs or rocks is a calculated risk. The riverbed, transformed by the flood, presents both opportunity and danger. Predators lurk in shadowed eddies, and every obstacle demands strength and agility from these determined migrants. In the dense labyrinth of papyrus and reeds, catfish glide silently over the silty bottom. Their elongated bodies and sensitive whiskers allow them to probe the substrate for hidden prey. Small invertebrates and organic debris stirred up by the flood's arrival. Some species, less inclined to battle the current, surrender to the river's momentum. They drift passively, carried by the powerful flow to new feeding grounds, where the abundance of food supports rapid growth and reproduction. Others, adapted to a life of concealment, burrow deep into the mud. Here they wait for the seasonal bounty, swarms of insect larvae and crustaceans dislodged by the churning waters. This strategy offers both protection and sustenance during the most turbulent weeks of the flood. Tilapia, with their iridescent scales, form swirling shoals that move as one. Their synchronized movements are guided by subtle shifts in water pressure and light, allowing them to evade predators and exploit fleeting pockets of food. The migration is a communal event, uniting a diverse array of species. In these underwater corridors, predators and prey, herbivores and carnivores, all share the same passage, each playing a role in the delta's intricate food web. As dusk falls, eels emerge from their daytime refuges. Their serpentine bodies weave through the reeds and submerged grasses, navigating by touch and scent. Under the cover of darkness, they embark on their own migrations, seeking out secluded spawning sites far from the reach of diurnal predators. With the expansion of the floodplain, jewel-bright killifish ride the currents into newly inundated grasslands. Here, in shallow ephemeral pools, they deposit their eggs, tiny capsules of life that will remain dormant, encased in mud, until the next season's rains awaken them. Every moment is shaped by the ever-present threat of predation. Larger fish lurk in the shadows, their bodies perfectly camouflaged against the dappled light, waiting for the unwary to stray too close. Crocodiles, masters of ambush, remain almost invisible, only their eyes and nostrils breaking the surface as they wait motionless among the aquatic vegetation, ready to strike at any sign of movement. From above, aquatic birds scan the water for flashes of movement. With sudden precision, they dive, piercing the surface to snatch fish from the shallows, adding another layer of danger to the underwater world. Despite these hazards, the rewards of migration are immense. Each journey ensures the renewal of life, as nutrients and energy are redistributed throughout the delta, supporting a thriving community of aquatic organisms. As the floodwaters recede, channels fragment into isolated pools. Some fish become trapped, providing a vital food source for herons, otters, and monitor lizards during the dry months, sustaining the delta's predators when resources are scarce. Others, sensing the changing conditions, burrow deep into the mud or encyst within the riverbed. In this state of suspended animation, they endure the harshest weeks of drought, awaiting the return of the life-giving floods. The Okavango's aquatic world is defined by perpetual change. Time-lapse transformations reveal the dramatic shifts in water levels, as fish migrate in synchrony with the ebb and flow of the seasons, their survival dependent on memory, adaptability, and the relentless drive to move. Through these intricate migrations, predator and prey are bound together, their fates intertwined at the interface of water and land. Each movement, each adaptation, strengthens the web of life that sustains the delta. In this ever-evolving aquatic tapestry, the migrations of fish and other aquatic life form an essential thread, one that weaves together the land, the water, and the countless species that call the Okavango home. In the heart of southern Africa, the Okavango Delta unfurls like a living tapestry, its intricate waterways and islands shaped not only by water and earth, but by the silent, persistent work of plants and trees. These green architects are the unsung engineers of the delta, orchestrating the rhythms of life with every root, stem, and leaf. Along the shifting margins of the floodplains, towering papyrus reeds form dense emerald ramparts. Their slender, triangular stems rise several meters above the water, swaying in unison with the breeze, creating a living barrier that both defines and protects the watery channels. Papyrus is more than a visual spectacle. Each stem acts as a natural filter, trapping silt and debris, purifying the water as it flows through the delta. The dense stands provide sanctuary for myriad aquatic creatures. Tiny fish dart between the stems, while dragonflies and water beetles flit above the surface, their lives intertwined with the papyrus's sheltering embrace. Beneath the waterline, a labyrinth of roots forms a hidden world. Here, juvenile fish, tadpoles and aquatic insects find refuge from predators and the harsh glare of the sun. These submerged nurseries are vital for the survival of countless species, offering both protection and abundant food. Where the land rises just above the reach of the floods, woodlands take hold. These elevated islands are crowned with trees that have adapted to the delta's seasonal rhythms, their roots probing deep into the soil to anchor them against the shifting waters. Among these, the sausage tree stands as a sentinel. Its broad, glossy leaves form a dense canopy, casting intricate patterns of shade that cool the earth below and provide respite for animals seeking shelter from the midday heat. Each year, the sausage tree produces massive pendulous fruits, some weighing up to 10 kilograms. When they fall, these nutrient-rich offerings become a vital food source for elephants, who crush them with ease, and for antelope and baboons, who eagerly forage for the fallen bounty. The tree's sturdy, twisting branches cradle the nests of weaver birds, their intricate constructions swaying gently above the ground. In the hollows and crevices, bush babies find safe dens, emerging at dusk to forage under the protective cover of leaves. Nearby, acacia trees punctuate the landscape with their unmistakable silhouettes. Their branches bristle with sharp thorns, a defense against herbivores, while clusters of golden blossoms attract swarms of bees and butterflies, turning each tree into a hub of pollinator activity. Acacias are masters of survival, thriving in both the inundation of the wet season and the parched months of drought. Their roots penetrate deep into the earth, tapping hidden reserves of water, while their leaves and stems store moisture, allowing them to endure the harshest conditions. As the floodwaters retreat and the ground hardens, the acacia's deep roots continue to draw sustenance from below. Giraffes stretch their long necks to browse on the tender leaves, while impalas nibble at shoots and roots, relying on these trees for nourishment when other food is scarce. Across the flooded plains, carpets of sedges and wild rice flourish. Their slender blades shimmer in the sunlight, forming a lush green expanse that sways with the movement of water and wind. These grasses are the lifeblood of the delta's herbivores. Herds of lechwe and red lechwe antelope wade through the shallows, grazing on the tender shoots. Their specialized hooves allow them to move effortlessly through the flooded grasslands, turning the delta into a seasonal grazing paradise. With the return of the annual floods, dormant seeds and tubers buried in the mud spring to life. The landscape erupts in a vibrant flush of green as new growth surges upward, providing fresh forage for countless animals and renewing the cycle of abundance. Even in death, the delta's plants continue to shape the ecosystem. Fallen trunks and decaying logs become microhabitats, sheltering insects, fungi and small reptiles, and slowly returning nutrients to the soil. Fungi break down the tough fibres of wood, while leaf litter accumulates on the forest floor, enriching the earth and supporting the next generation of growth. This constant recycling ensures that nothing is wasted in the delta's intricate web of life. On the surface of tranquil lagoons, water lilies unfurl their broad leaves, creating floating islands that shelter tadpoles and tiny fish. Their roots anchor firmly in the muddy bottom, stabilizing the soil and preventing erosion from the gentle currents. Every stem and leaf in this lush realm plays a crucial role, absorbing sunlight, producing oxygen, and forming the foundation of the food web that sustains the delta's extraordinary diversity. Together, the plants and trees of the Okavango Delta weave a living network that supports every creature, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal. Through their silent labour, they transform water, sunlight and soil into a vibrant, ever-renewing paradise, one of the world's last great wildernesses, sustained by the green architects at its heart. Above the Okavango Delta, the sky is a restless architect. Its moods and movements orchestrate the fate of this vast watery wilderness. Each day the heavens shift in colour and form, painting the landscape with light and shadow, signalling the arrival of change long before it touches the ground. Here, climate is not a passive backdrop, but the invisible hand that sculpts every season, every habitat, and every adaptation. The interplay of temperature, rainfall, and wind determines the very rhythm of existence for all who dwell here. Across the immense African skies, clouds begin their journey in distant highlands, gathering moisture and momentum as they drift over the savanna. These cloud formations are the first sign of a process that will ultimately transform the delta below. In the highlands of Angola, summer rains descend in torrents, saturating the earth and feeding the headwaters of rivers. This deluge marks the beginning of a journey that will take weeks to complete as water slowly winds its way southward. As the floodwaters gather strength, they surge through river channels, swelling the arteries of the Okavango. The pulse of the delta is set not by local storms, but by the distant, unseen weather patterns of another land. When these waters finally reach the delta, they spread across the floodplains, raising water levels and breathing life into the landscape. The timing and volume of this annual flood dictate the abundance and distribution of habitats throughout the region. The transformation is profound and swift. Parched earth softens, and the once barren ground becomes saturated, setting the stage for a dramatic ecological renewal. Dusty plains dissolve into a mosaic of shimmering lakes and channels, their surfaces mirroring the sky above. These new waters create a dynamic patchwork of habitats, each supporting a unique web of life. As humidity rises, storm fronts gather strength, rolling in with dark, towering clouds that electrify the atmosphere. The air becomes heavy, charged with anticipation. Lightning forks across the horizon, illuminating the night and casting fleeting shadows across the papyrus swamps. Thunder reverberates through the wetlands, a reminder of the raw power that shapes this environment. Rainfall, though life-giving, is also a test of endurance. It dictates the rhythm of survival, determining which areas flourish and which are left vulnerable to the elements. The Okavango is a land of contrasts, where extremes of wet and dry coexist, and the landscape is in constant flux. Each year, the boundaries between water and land are redrawn. When the storms pass, sunlight pierces the clouds with renewed intensity. Sunbeams dance across the wet delta, igniting a burst of growth and activity. As days stretch into weeks, the relentless heat begins to evaporate shallow pools. Waterways contract, and the landscape shifts once more toward aridity. With the retreat of clouds, the wind carries the scent of drying grass and cracked mud. The delta's surface hardens, and the cycle of scarcity begins anew. During these dry months, waterholes shrink and retreat, drawing wildlife to their diminishing edges. The soil bears the ghostly imprints of vanished streams, silent records of the flood's passage. The Okavango's weather is a complex mosaic, with microclimates shifting from one patch of land to the next. Cloud shadows race across the terrain, marking the ever-changing boundaries of moisture and drought. At dawn, cool mists drift over silent lagoons, clinging to reeds and weaving delicate patterns on spider webs. These fleeting moments of moisture sustain life in the early hours. By afternoon, breezes ripple through golden grasses, scattering seeds and pollen across the plains. The wind becomes a silent agent of renewal, carrying the promise of future growth. Occasionally, sudden squalls sweep across the floodplains, bending papyrus stems and sending flocks of birds wheeling into the turbulent sky. These brief tempests can reshape the landscape in moments. In recent years, the climate's pulse has grown increasingly erratic. Extended droughts parch the delta, leaving water channels dry beneath a hazy sky. Rains that once arrived with certainty now falter or vanish, exposing cracked earth where water once flowed. The delicate equilibrium between flood and drought is under threat, placing immense pressure on the intricate web of life that depends on these cycles. Yet the Okavango endures. Its landscapes are resilient, capable of renewal after even the harshest droughts. With each return of the rains, the delta is reborn, its vitality restored. Every gust of wind, every drop of rain, and every flash of lightning is a silent force, weaving together the ever-evolving tapestry of the Okavango. Here, weather is not merely the setting, but the very heart of the story, an epic written in water, light, and sky, shaping the destiny of the delta with every passing season. Beneath the towering reeds and within the tangled roots of the Okavango, a hidden universe flourishes, one measured not in miles, but in inches, in the rapid flutter of tiny hearts, and in the gentle whisper of fur brushing through moonlit grass. Here the world is sculpted by shadows and silence, where every movement is a calculated risk and every pause a testament to survival. In this intricate ecosystem, small mammals are the unsung architects of resilience. Their lives unfold in the margins, between water and land, day and night, where adaptation is not just a skill, but a necessity. Each species has evolved unique strategies to navigate the Okavango's relentless cycles of flood and drought, heat and cold, feast and famine. As the first rays of sunlight ignite the plains and predators begin their patrol, the African pygmy mouse emerges from its shelter. Barely larger than a thumb, it scurries through a labyrinth of dew-laden sedge, weaving a network of hidden runways beneath the grass. These secret corridors offer both protection and passage, allowing the mouse to forage while remaining concealed from the ever-watchful eyes above. Every step is a delicate negotiation with danger. The pygmy mouse pauses, whiskers twitching, body taut with anticipation. Its senses are finely tuned, ears attuned to the faintest rustle, eyes scanning for the glint of a predator's gaze. In this world, hesitation can mean the difference between life and death. When the annual floods sweep across the delta, these tiny wanderers reveal their ingenuity. Scaling the slender stems of papyrus, they construct spherical nests suspended above the rising waters. These floating sanctuaries, woven from reeds and grasses, provide refuge from both the encroaching tides and the jaws of aquatic hunters. The nests bob gently with the current, a testament to the mouse's remarkable engineering. Elsewhere, beneath the dense canopy and among the decaying leaves, the shrew embarks on its nightly quest. Driven by an insatiable metabolism, it navigates the tangled undergrowth with ceaseless energy, its tiny body in perpetual motion. The forest floor is a mosaic of opportunity and hazard, where every crevice may conceal a meal or a threat. The shrew's world is defined by scent and sound. Its elongated snout probes the leaf litter, deciphering an invisible map of chemical trails and subtle vibrations. Each breath brings a flood of information, guiding the shrew to hidden insects, larvae, and other invertebrates that form the backbone of its diet. As darkness deepens, the shrew's acute hearing becomes its greatest ally. It listens for the faintest flutter of insect wings, the soft scuttle of a beetle across damp soil. With lightning speed, it strikes, consuming its prey almost as quickly as it is found. The shrew's relentless hunt is a nightly race against starvation, for its tiny body demands constant nourishment. Rest is a luxury the shrew can seldom afford. Its existence is a blur of movement, searching, sniffing, seizing, driven by the unyielding need to feed. In the Okavango's intricate web of life, the shrew is both predator and prey, its fate balanced on a knife's edge. As the dry season tightens its grip, the striped grass mouse emerges as a paragon of endurance. The landscape transforms. Lush grasses wither, waterholes shrink, and the air shimmers with heat. Yet this small rodent persists, adapting to the harshest conditions with remarkable ingenuity. Beneath the sun-baked earth, the striped grass mouse excavates a labyrinth of burrows. These subterranean refugees are marvels of natural engineering, cool, humid, and insulated from the searing temperatures above. Within these tunnels, entire families gather, their bodies pressed close to conserve precious moisture and warmth. In the safety of these underground chambers, social bonds are strengthened. The mice huddle together, sharing body heat and reducing water loss through collective stillness. Here, the rhythm of life slows, and survival becomes a communal effort. When resources dwindle, the striped grass mouse turns to foresight. It ventures above ground to gather seeds and grasses, carefully selecting and transporting them back to its burrow. Each morsel is stored in hidden chambers, a vital reserve for the lean months ahead. These caches are more than mere stockpiles. They are lifelines, meticulously curated and fiercely guarded. In times of scarcity, they ensure the survival of the colony, bridging the gap between abundance and deprivation. Among the delta's most elusive inhabitants is the bush-veld gerbil, a master of stealth and subterfuge. Rarely seen in daylight, it relies on secrecy and speed to evade the many dangers that stalk the Okavango. By day, the gerbil retreats into a complex network of tunnels, a subterranean fortress that shields it from raptors, snakes, and the relentless African sun. These burrows are interconnected, allowing for swift escapes and multiple exits should danger approach. As dusk falls, the gerbil ventures out beneath the cloak of darkness. It forages swiftly, darting from shadow to shadow, ever alert to the slightest disturbance. Its nocturnal habits reduce the risk of predation, but every outing is fraught with peril. The gerbil's fur is a marvel of camouflage, mirroring the shifting hues of sand and grass. This natural disguise allows it to melt into the landscape, becoming nearly invisible to both predator and prey. In a world of constant flux, such adaptation is essential. The Okavango Delta is a stage for countless dramas, where survival is dictated not by brute strength or speed, but by intelligence, adaptability, and the relentless will to endure. Each small mammal plays a vital role in maintaining the delicate balance of this ecosystem, shaping the land as much as they are shaped by it. Moving quietly through the grass, these creatures leave only the faintest trace of their existence. Their struggles are hidden, their victories silent, yet their presence is woven into the very fabric of the delta. In their quiet perseverance, small mammals embody the pulse of the Okavango, a heartbeat that thrums beneath the surface, unseen yet vital. Forever adapting, forever enduring, they are the silent sentinels of survival in one of Africa's most dynamic landscapes. Beneath the shimmering surface of the Okavango Delta, where sunlight dances in shifting patterns across the water, a hidden world pulses with life. Each ripple, each glimmer, is a signal, an invitation to witness the profound complexity that lies just out of sight. Within the dense labyrinthine vegetation, roots and branches intertwine, forming a living network that supports countless species. The swamp forest is not merely a backdrop, but a dynamic stage where every organism plays a vital role in the unfolding drama of survival. From the colossal elephants forging paths through flooded grasslands to the minuscule insects clinging to dew-laden leaves, every creature is connected by unseen bonds. The movement of a single elephant can alter the course of water, shaping habitats for myriad smaller lives. A solitary raindrop falling upstream sets off a cascade of events. As it joins the river, it signals the arrival of the wet season, awakening frogs whose nocturnal chorus reverberates through the night. Their calls are not just songs, but beacons, drawing out snakes from their hidden retreats and alerting owls to the feast below. Frogs gather at the water's edge, feasting on swarms of midges that rise in ephemeral clouds. Dragonflies, their iridescent wings catching the sun, patrol the pools, preying on insects and maintaining the delicate balance of this aquatic ecosystem. These pools, replenished by seasonal floods, become nurseries for young fish. Silvery schools dart among reeds, attracting the sharp gaze of herons, who stand motionless, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Beneath the surface, crocodiles glide silently, their patience rewarded by the abundance of prey. When a buffalo herd wades through the shallows, their hooves churn the mud, releasing seeds and insects into the water. This disturbance creates a feeding frenzy for egrets and oxpeckers, who follow closely, capitalizing on the bounty stirred up by the massive mammals. Egrets snatch insects mid-flight, their sharp reflexes honed by generations of adaptation. Oxpeckers, meanwhile, cling to the buffalo's back, meticulously removing ticks and parasites, providing relief to their hosts while securing their own sustenance. Each hoofprint left behind becomes a miniature oasis. Rainwater collects in these shallow depressions, creating microhabitats where tadpoles wriggle and aquatic plants begin their life cycles, contributing to the delta's astonishing biodiversity. In the heart of the thickets, termites construct monumental mounds, engineering the landscape from below. Their tunnels aerate the soil, allowing roots to penetrate deeper and young saplings to flourish. These trees, in turn, offer sanctuary to leopards and provide cool refuge for antelope during the heat of the day. As acacia trees burst into bloom, sunbirds hover with precision, their slender beaks probing for nectar. In the process, they transfer pollen from flower to flower, ensuring the continuation of these vital trees and the habitats they create. Even the tiniest inhabitants, from leaf-dwelling insects to elusive rodents weaving through the grass, play indispensable roles. Their activities, feeding, burrowing, pollinating, drive the cycles of growth and decay that sustain the delta. Dung beetles, tireless recyclers, roll their precious cargo across the mud, breaking down waste and returning nutrients to the soil. Their efforts enrich the land, supporting lush vegetation that attracts flocks of ibis and storks, each bird foraging for its preferred meal. A single fallen fig, partially consumed, becomes a hub of activity. Beetles and mice converge, each extracting nourishment before the fruit decomposes, its nutrients seeping into the earth to nourish the next generation of trees. The cycle of life and death is ever present. Lions stalk through tall grasses, their presence shaping the behavior of prey. When a hunt concludes, scavengers arrive, dispersing seeds and nutrients, ensuring that nothing is wasted. The remains of a buffalo sustain not only lions, but also hyenas and vultures, each species extracting what it needs. Ultimately, the nutrients return to the soil, fostering new growth and closing the loop of life. As the rains return, floodwaters surge across the delta, transforming the landscape. Wildlife responds in synchrony. Fish migrate, birds nest, and plants burst into life, each species attuned to the rhythms of water and season. In this vast expanse, true solitude is rare. Even the most solitary animal is drawn to communal spaces, such as waterholes, where the needs of many converge and interactions shape the fate of all. Herds traverse the grasslands, their movements orchestrated by ancient instincts. Family groups nurture the young, defend against threats, and share knowledge, reinforcing the bonds that hold the community together. The Okavango's strength lies in its interconnectedness. Energy flows seamlessly from plant to herbivore, from predator to scavenger, from decomposer to new life. Each link is essential, each exchange a testament to the resilience of this ecosystem. Across the seasons, the Okavango Delta transforms. Flooded plains give way to dry grasslands, and life adapts in a perpetual cycle of renewal. Here, existence is not a solitary endeavour, but a grand collaboration, a living symphony where every note matters and every life is part of the whole. As the first rays of sunlight pierce the mist-laden floodplains of the Okavango Delta, a new chapter in the saga of survival quietly unfolds. The golden dawn reveals a landscape teeming with life, each creature poised at the threshold of opportunity and danger. In this intricate ecosystem, every animal, whether predator or prey, must constantly adapt to shifting conditions. The air is thick with anticipation, as alert eyes and twitching ears betray the ever-present tension between hunter and hunted. A pride of lions, cloaked in the tall, dew-soaked grasses, moves with calculated stealth. Their golden coats blend seamlessly with the savannah, each step measured, every muscle coiled in readiness. The matriarch leads, her gaze fixed on distant movement, orchestrating the hunt with silent authority. Not far away, a herd of red lechwe grazes on the lush grasses, their bodies angled to maximize their field of vision. Sensitive to the subtlest changes in their environment, they rely on collective vigilance, each member attuned to the faintest sound or flicker of movement. Suddenly, a flock of birds erupts into the sky, startled by an unseen presence. The lechwe instantly stiffen, muscles tensed as a wave of alarm ripples through the herd. Even the gentlest breeze can carry the scent of danger, triggering a chain reaction of heightened awareness. The lions halt mid-stride, their bodies pressed low against the earth. In these critical moments, they reassess their strategy, reading the subtle cues of their quarry and the shifting wind. Patience becomes their greatest weapon, as they wait for the perfect moment to strike. With a sudden burst of energy, the lechwe spring into motion, their powerful legs propelling them through the shallow waters. Their hooves, uniquely adapted for the wetlands, barely disturb the surface, allowing them to glide effortlessly across the flooded plains. The lions, less suited to the watery terrain, advance with difficulty. Each step is a struggle against the drag of waterlogged grass, their pursuit slowed by the very landscape that gives the lechwe their advantage. In this fleeting contest, the balance of power shifts. The lechwe, exploiting their mastery of the wetlands, escape the jaws of their pursuers, their freedom won by a combination of instinct, agility, and the unique geography of their home. Elsewhere, a pack of African wild dogs emerges onto the open plain. Their formation is precise, each member taking up a strategic position as they silently coordinate their approach toward a distant herd of impala. Renowned for their stamina and teamwork, the wild dogs move as a single, fluid unit. Their relentless pace and ability to communicate through subtle body language make them some of the most effective hunters in the Delta. With barely a sound, they exchange glances and signals, ears flicking, tails twitching, each gesture conveying intent. This silent dialogue allows them to adjust their tactics in real time, closing the distance with unwavering focus. The impala, sensing the impending threat, erupt into motion. Their bodies arc gracefully through the air, leaping high and far to confuse their pursuers. This explosive agility is their primary defense, scattering the herd and making it difficult for the dogs to single out a target. As the chase intensifies, one impala falters, drawing the focus of the pack. The ensuing pursuit is a test of endurance and split-second decision-making, where only the most resilient will prevail. Beneath the tranquil surface of the delta's waterways, another predator lies in wait. The crocodile, perfectly camouflaged among the lilies, embodies patience and stealth, remaining motionless for hours as it scans for the slightest disturbance. A young antelope, drawn to the water's edge by thirst, becomes vulnerable in this moment of need. With astonishing speed, the crocodile lunges from its hiding place, jaws snapping in a blur of motion. Yet the antelope's finely tuned senses often provide a crucial warning. In a heartbeat, it leaps away, the water's surface disturbed only by the ripples left in its wake. A narrow escape from a silent assassin. The Okavango's drama is not always written in victory. Under a brooding sky, lions retreat from a failed hunt, their hunger a reminder that success is never assured in this wild theatre. For every triumph there are countless setbacks. Predators, exhausted and empty-bellied, rest and reflect, their failures shaping future tactics. Each encounter is a lesson, refining the instincts and skills of both hunter and hunted. Prey animals, meanwhile, grow ever more vigilant. Their survival depends on acute senses, rapid communication, and the ability to read the intentions of their adversaries. Social bonds are strengthened as they learn from each narrow escape. Predators, too, evolve with each attempt. They learn to anticipate the movements of their prey, to exploit moments of weakness, and to bide their time until the odds are in their favour. This relentless cycle of adaptation and counter-adaptation ensures that only the most resourceful and attentive creatures flourish. The delta's abundance is a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of its inhabitants. Despite the constant struggle, a remarkable equilibrium prevails. Predator and prey coexist, their fates intertwined in a delicate balance that sustains the entire ecosystem. The hunt, though brutal, serves a vital purpose. It strengthens the herd by removing the weak and the sick, while nourishing the land and supporting a web of life that extends far beyond the immediate drama. Every pursuit, every escape, and every confrontation weaves a new thread into the delta's living tapestry. These moments, fleeting yet profound, reveal the extraordinary resilience and complexity of life in the Okavango. Here, predator and prey are not simply adversaries, but participants in a perpetual, evolving ballet. Their interactions shape the destiny of the land, ensuring its vitality for generations to come. As the sun sets over the vast floodplains, the eternal dance continues, each triumph, each loss, and every adaptation echoing through the heart of the Okavango, sustaining the wild beauty of this remarkable delta. Over the course of millions of years, the Okavango Delta has been sculpted by the relentless forces of water, climate, and time. This ever-shifting mosaic of channels, islands, and floodplains forms a dynamic stage where life is in constant flux. Here, the process of evolution is not merely a distant concept, but a living, breathing phenomenon, one that can be witnessed in the intricate adaptations of every organism that calls this place home. Each species in the delta is a product of countless generations of trial and error, their bodies and behaviours refined by the demands of survival. The Okavango's lush floodplains and labyrinthine waterways have given rise to a tapestry of life, each thread woven with the ingenuity of adaptation. Deep beneath the surface, the African lungfish demonstrates a remarkable evolutionary strategy. When the delta's waters recede and the land bakes under the sun, this ancient fish burrows into the mud, encasing itself in a protective cocoon. Within this self-made refuge, it slows its metabolism and breathes air through primitive lungs, surviving for months until the rains return. This adaptation, a vestige from a time when fish first ventured onto land, allows the lungfish to endure conditions that would be fatal to most aquatic life. On the open floodplains, the red lechwe antelope has evolved to thrive in a world of water and grass. Its elongated, splayed hooves act like natural snowshoes, distributing its weight and preventing it from sinking into the marshy ground. Powerful hind legs propel it in great leaps across flooded meadows, allowing it to escape predators in an environment where few can follow. The lechwe's golden coat, shimmering in the sunlight, blends seamlessly with the tall grasses and reeds. This camouflage is not merely for beauty, it is a vital defense, rendering the antelope nearly invisible to the keen eyes of lurking predators. Towering above the grasses, African elephants traverse the delta's vast expanses. Their immense size belies a delicate sensitivity to the rhythms of the land. Over generations, these giants have developed the ability to detect distant thunderstorms and sense the subtle vibrations of water beneath the earth, guiding their herds to life-sustaining springs and pools that lie hidden from view. The matriarchs, repositories of collective memory, lead their families along ancient migratory routes, their knowledge passed down through decades. This inherited wisdom ensures the survival of the herd, even as the delta's waters ebb and flow with the seasons. As dusk settles, the painted reed frog emerges, its tiny body no larger than a human thumbnail. This amphibian possesses the extraordinary ability to alter its skin colour, shifting from pale hues at dawn to vibrant greens and browns by nightfall. This rapid transformation allows it to blend with the changing light and foliage, evading the notice of nocturnal hunters. The delta's abundance has also shaped its predators, each one a master of its domain. Their senses are honed to perfection, their strategies refined by the relentless contest between hunter and hunted. The African fish eagle, with its piercing cry and keen eyesight, soars above the waterways. Its talons, curved and razor-sharp, are engineered for precision, allowing it to snatch slippery fish from the water's surface in a single, fluid motion. Lurking beneath the surface, crocodiles embody the patience of ancient predators. Their armoured bodies and explosive power are the result of millions of years of evolution, enabling them to remain motionless for hours before launching a lightning-fast ambush on unsuspecting prey. Even the smallest inhabitants display remarkable ingenuity. Insects weave silk among the papyrus stems, constructing shelters that withstand both flood and drought. The serval, a solitary feline, moves silently through the moonlit grass, its oversized ears attuned to the faintest rustle of prey. The Okavango's climate is a force of perpetual change. Torrential rains and searing droughts alternate in an unpredictable cycle, driving the evolution of new behaviours and traits. Each season brings its own challenges, demanding flexibility and resilience from every living thing. In years of plentiful rain, birds synchronize their nesting to the rising waters, while fish exploit newly formed channels to spawn. Plants burst into bloom just before the rains, their seeds timed to take root in the moist earth. During the harsh dry season, survival hinges on adaptability. Animals trek vast distances in search of dwindling water, while plants enter dormancy, conserving energy until the next flood. Only those with the most versatile strategies endure, their genetic legacy carried forward. The delta's appearance transforms dramatically between seasons, and with each transformation, its inhabitants must adjust their behaviours, diets, and territories. This constant state of flux ensures that no 2 years are ever the same, and that evolution remains an ongoing process. In the Okavango Delta, adaptation and evolution are not abstract ideas, but the very essence of existence. Every animal, every plant, and every microscopic organism is a testament to nature's ingenuity, a living record of the challenges faced and overcome. Here, the story of life is written in the patterns of migration, the colours of camouflage, and the silent wisdom passed from one generation to the next. The Delta stands as a living archive of evolutionary triumph, where the past and present merge in a ceaseless dance of survival and renewal. Beneath the lush floodplains and winding channels of the Okavango Delta lies a world seldom seen, a hidden reservoir of life sustained by the secret movement of underground water. While the surface teems with the drama of predator and prey, below, a silent network of subterranean rivers and aquifers shapes the destiny of the entire ecosystem. Here, ancient sands filter the floodwaters, creating crystal-clear springs that bubble up in unexpected places. These springs can persist long after the surface waters have vanished, offering a lifeline to plants and animals during the harshest months of drought. Roots reach deep into the earth, tapping hidden veins of moisture. Papyrus and water lilies anchor themselves to the unseen currents, their survival dependent not just on rain and river, but on the silent generosity of the ground beneath. Termite mounds towering above the plains are more than just architectural marvels. They are gateways to the underworld. Their intricate tunnels extend meters below the surface, channeling cool, moist air and nurturing fungi that feed entire colonies. In these subterranean refuges, amphibians burrow deep to escape the heat, while small mammals seek shelter from predators and fire alike. The interplay between surface and subsurface water is subtle yet profound. When seasonal floods recede, the groundwater rises, feeding isolated pools that become sanctuaries for fish, frogs, and invertebrates. These oases support life long after the landscape appears dry, ensuring that the cycle of abundance and scarcity never fully breaks. Even the Delta's iconic baobab trees owe their resilience to this hidden world. Their swollen trunks store water drawn from deep aquifers, allowing them to endure years of drought and provide food and shelter for countless creatures. In the Okavango, the visible and invisible are forever entwined. The abundance on the surface is a reflection of the slow, persistent flow below, a silent current that nourishes, connects, and sustains. The Delta's true strength lies not just in its rivers and rains, but in the secret reservoirs that pulse beneath, ensuring the web of life endures through every season of change. In the Okavango Delta, not all wonders are visible to the naked eye. Some exist only in the realm of sound, a symphony woven by countless lives, echoing through air, water, and earth. As dawn breaks, the chorus begins, the distant trumpeting of elephants, the sharp calls of fish-eagles, and the gentle rustle of reeds in the morning breeze. Each note is a signal, a message carried across the floodplains. Beneath the surface, vibrations travel farther than sight. Hippos grunt and bellow, their voices resonating through the water, marking territory and calling to companions. Fish communicate through subtle clicks and pops, while frogs add their own rhythmic melodies as dusk falls, their croaks rising in waves from hidden pools. Even in silence, the Delta is alive with meaning. Predators move with deliberate quiet, their footsteps muffled by wet earth and tall grass, a silence that speaks of patience and anticipation. The wind, too, is a messenger, carrying the scent and sound of distant herds, the approach of rain, or the warning of danger. Night brings a new movement to the score. The chirring of crickets, the haunting hoots of owls, and the soft splash of an otter slipping into the water create a nocturnal lullaby. Bats flit overhead, their echolocation clicks painting an invisible map of the darkness. For those who truly listen, the Okavango is never still. Its soundscape is a living tapestry, a language shared by all who dwell here. Each note helps creatures find mates, avoid danger, and claim their place in the world. In this ancient land, silence and sound are partners in the dance of survival. An eternal music that binds the life of the Delta together, note by note, moment by moment. As the first light brushes the horizon, a delicate veil of mist unfurls over the Okavango Delta. This is the hour when the world is neither night nor day, a realm suspended in silver, where boundaries blur and the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Wisps of fog drift above the water, curling around papyrus stems and caressing the backs of grazing antelope. The air is cool and thick, every breath holding the scent of damp earth and distant rain. In this shrouded world, shapes and shadows move with ghostly grace. A herd of red lechwe appears as mere silhouettes, their reflections rippling in the mirror-like surface, vanishing and reappearing as the mist swirls. Predators, too, are transformed. A lone leopard, usually a master of camouflage, now glides unseen, its spots merging with the dappled patterns of light and vapour. The mist muffles sound, wrapping the landscape in a gentle hush. Here, even the sharpest eyes must rely on other senses. Elephants reach out with their trunks, feeling their way through the haze, while birds wait in silence for the sun's warmth to reveal the day. As the sun climbs, its rays pierce the fog, setting droplets aglow on every blade of grass. The world awakens in slow motion. Dragonflies, wings beaded with dew, cling to reeds until the warmth frees them. Water lilies, closed tight through the night, begin to open, petals unfurling in the growing light. This fleeting spectacle lasts only minutes, yet it is a daily miracle. The veil of mist is both shield and stage, hiding and revealing the Delta's secrets in turn. In these moments, the Okavango is reborn, each creature emerging from the haze to greet the promise of a new day. As the mist dissolves and the sun's warmth spreads across the Okavango, a silent story is written upon the damp earth and riverbanks, a language composed not of words, but of footprints and subtle traces. Here, every animal leaves a mark, a fleeting testament to its presence and passage. In the soft mud along the water's edge, the broad, round impressions of elephants tell of a matriarch's journey, her herd following in single file. Delicate, heart-shaped tracks reveal the night's wanderings of antelope, while the sharp, clawed imprints of a hyena hint at an unseen hunt. Even the smallest creatures leave their signatures, the intricate patterns of a water monitor's tail, the dotted line of a dung beetle's laborious trek, the parallel grooves cut by an otter sliding back to the river. For those who know how to read them, these tracks unveil a hidden narrative. A sudden scattering of hoofprints suggests a startled flight. Overlapping paw marks reveal a predator's stealthy pursuit. The ground itself becomes a living map, chronicling the drama of survival and the rhythm of daily life. As the sun climbs higher, the wind and heat begin to erase these transient messages, returning the surface to a blank canvas for the next chapter. But for a brief moment each morning, the Okavango's creatures leave behind a diary written in dust, mud and sand, a record of existence as ancient as the Delta itself, and as fresh as the new day. Beneath the tall grasses and scattered acacia trees of the Okavango, A force both ancient and unseen shapes the very ground itself. These are the silent architects of the delta, the termites. Their mounds rise like miniature citadels above the floodplain, some towering as high as a grown man, their spires sculpted by countless tiny jaws and tireless legs. Within these earthen fortresses, millions of termites labour in darkness, orchestrating a complex society. Deep inside, the queen reigns, her body swollen with eggs, while workers and soldiers tend to every need of the colony. Through intricate tunnels, they farm fungus, recycle dead plant matter, and maintain a delicate balance of humidity and temperature. An engineering marvel achieved without blueprints or language. But the influence of these tiny builders extends far beyond the mound. Their constant excavation aerates the soil, allowing roots to breathe and water to infiltrate, nourishing the plants above. The mounds themselves become islands during floods, refuges for snakes, lizards, and even resting birds. When abandoned, these structures are reclaimed by the land, becoming nurseries for saplings, shelter for wild dogs, or vantage points for leopards on the prowl. Termites, though seldom seen, are the delta's unsung engineers, shaping landscapes, sustaining ecosystems, and quietly ensuring that the Okavango endures. In their relentless industry, they remind us that even the smallest creatures can leave the most profound mark on the world.